Okay, so if your character is this size, this is a 2-inch character, 5 centimeters. You need your piece of wire to be 6 to 8 times as long as the height of your character.
About 30 centimeters.
So this one was 30 centimeters of wire, or 12 inches of wire that turned into this size of character. So if you've got your piece of wire and you decide you want your character to be, say, this long, then you need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's how long I've made my piece of wire to make my character a bit bigger than the last one. Oh. So you get your piece of wire, to cut it to the right length, use any pair of scissors for this thickness of wire. They should cut through, just get it right into the top of the scissors and it should cut it off nicely. So then you've got your piece of wire. Next step, bend your wire over and fold it in half. So you've got the top like that. This is going to be the head of your character. If it's a person, definitely it's going to be the head of your character. If it's not a person, then you need to think, is there an equivalent part of your character that is going to be like the head, and adapt it accordingly. So that's the top, the head, and we're just going to twist it to make a neck. And thinking about how big the final one is going to be, make it roughly the size you expect that final head to be. Now I'm going to twist it twice actually, so it's got a bit of a neck. It doesn't need to be remotely realistically like a head, because you're not going to see this in the end. So the next bit of your character's body is going to be the arms, obviously. Again, think about the final size. I want my final size to be like that. So I'm thinking, how long are those arms? They're going to be about like that. So that's one arm. And I'm going to twist that a few times. Just make that so you can see
it.
Wait, so you take like sort of one side and then what? Oh yeah, so you bend it round like you did with the head and then twist the end.
I think I've used a bit too much wire.
Well, you can always go back, undo that bit and do it again if you think it's too long.
Yeah, and the loop on the end is where the hand will be.
That's where the exactly right. That. So
what you do the same on the other side?
Then the rest of it, the rest of that piece is going to go down to the body, and then you go back to the other piece of wire that you have been ignoring, and make the other arm on the other side.
Hang on, yeah, just doing this first.
Do you make the other arm now?
Yeah. So use the other piece of wire. You've got 2 lengths of wire, haven't you, coming off the head? You use one for one arm and one for the other arm.
I don't know, I'm just doing this first.
Like that. And so then you've still got 2 pieces of wire coming down. Yes?
Oh, yeah, I think I've done this wrong. I've got no legs.
Oh yeah. So if you use the same piece of wire to do both arms, then you won't have enough left to do the legs. So undo the second arm. You're using one bit of wire for one arm, and then you're using the other bit of wire for the other arm. So I'm going to undo mine so that you can
see they're doing a wire.
Don't worry, you can always make your character a bit smaller, Matthew.
Can I use a figure to help me then, Sophie?
You mean you want to look at a figure to get an idea of what's... Yeah, do that, yeah, whatever you need to do. All right, I've undone my arms now. So I've undone my arms and I've just got my head there in the middle like that. So I'm using one side of the wire to do one arm. And then I'm using the other side of the wire to do the other arm.
Oh. That kind of makes sense, I think.
So I'll undo them again.
How do you use with that?
This would be easier if we were all in the same room, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would. Like, so easier.
Yeah, okay, but we love a challenge, so it's okay.
All right.
So here I am, I've undone my arms again. This side, this piece of wire on this side is going to be one arm, then it's going to be a bit of body, and then it's going to be legs. It's going
That was what was
Oh.
confusing me. That was what was confusing me. Yeah,
and
right.
on
Okay.
the side is the other arm, another bit of body, and the other leg.
I get you now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So I'm glad I've explained that properly now. You know, when you know what you're doing, you don't need to explain it to yourself, do you?
but when you're trying to explain it to something else, you
No.
sometimes get yourself lost. So I can see that. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting it.
Okay, so I'm doing my arms again. I've done one arm, and then I've gone back to the other bit of wire, and I've done the other arm. And if you find that if you really feel like you wish you'd used more wire, you could just finish the arms and then cut another piece of wire and attach it, wind it round to attach it to the body. Okay, so now you should have this.
Well, yeah. Well, sort of. Yeah.
Yep. Head,
Yeah.
2 arms, and 2 bits of wire sticking out the bottom.
Yeah.
So now you're going to twist that round like that to make a bit of a body. And then you're going to do your first leg. You're going to bend it over. This is going to be the foot here. So you want to make your leg a little bit longer than it really be, because you're going to, and I'm just twisting the leg like that. And then the foot, I'm just going to bend like that. You can't see it that well, can you?
That's too long.
Yeah.
Bend the foot like that. There. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just remember, this is the first one that you've ever done of this. So if you think, oh my lordy, I've done this all wrong, you can't expect to do something the first time absolutely perfectly, can you?
Oh yeah.
That's what.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Octopus man.
I've gone a bit over the top, but I only had small strips, you see, so
Yep.
kind of just
Nice
wrap
work.
them through and
Excellent.
these arms.
So you do the arms first.
I did one arm first. Can I touch the other arm after that?
You do the other arm with the other piece of wire.
Ooh.
So the one piece of wire coming off the head, you do the arm, and then you do the body, and then you do one leg and go back up to the middle. And then with the other piece of wire, you do the other arm, down the body, the other leg. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but don't try and do it as big as that figure you've got there, because you need a really long piece of wire.
Yeah. That's the best I can do.
Let's have a look at yours, Andy.
Yeah, just like they're both arms, the head at the top, quite a long neck, and these really diggy
Oh.
legs at the
Oh,
bottom.
it's got little
Bye.
legs.
Yeah, little baby tiger legs.
Well, unless yours is a tiger, I guess you will be turning yours that way, won't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. In terms of,
Uh,
oh no, wait. I was actually gonna like doing more like humanoid because he's a way tiger.
Oh,
And
with
it-
tiger.
yes.
Okay. Well, I think it's right. He's got short legs, though.
Yeah, we can pass it off.
Yeah, and so these little shapes. This is not what your final finished thing is going to look like, because
I would be very surprised if it would be.
this is just the shape, the form, the structure inside your model, which we'll carry on with next week. 'Cause it's 5 to 3.
Oh, blimey.
We'll carry on with it next week. This is just the structure that's going to mean that. Where's Derek gone? It just means that when I wave Derek's arm, his arm doesn't fall off because it's got wire inside it. So I can do
Yeah,
all
yeah,
sorts of
yeah.
things with Derek that previously, when we've done plasticine models,
And positions as well. Different. They can hold
Yeah.
the position.
yeah, he can lift his leg up, although he would probably fall over. He can nod his head. All those things where where we'd done it before, any movement just meant that those limbs fell off while we were doing it. So your inner wire frame doesn't need to look remotely correct, if that makes sense.
Do you know something? I think I've actually seen this quite a few times with with when we were actually at film cuts. These sort of younger members, like Lily and
Yeah.
Gawain, they seemed to be doing a lot of this sort of thing and making sort of wire models of wolf creatures and people and whatnot.
I don't think that they had the wire on the inside. I think they just made them, and then they
Oh.
could move them.
Strange. I could have sworn I could have remembered.
We did. We
seeing the
tried.
white.
Oh,
We
did
tried
you?
to, Sophie, but we didn't.
Okay.
We didn't know how to do it.
Right. Well, let's see if we get. Let's see how far we get. I'm no expert at this. You know, I'm just learning it off YouTube
Really?
videos and stuff like that. So we're just learning
Better
together.
than the way mine looks.
Well, I had a practice run with Derek, didn't I? This is Derek's wife.
Everyone's thinking
Wow.
of.
So thin and bony, with no idea.
She's very,
Pretty seasoned.
pretty heartless, his wife.
No,
Yeah.
blimey.
No wonder he wants to just go and creosote his shed. Poor Derek. Great. What do we think? What do we think of that?
Cool.